Yeah.
All right. So, hey, Gary, how you doing, man?
Good, good, Seb. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. So, I guess that most people watching this, pretty much everybody watching this, unless we send it to our moms and dads and brothers and sisters, really have no idea who we are. So, Gary, who are you anyway?
Yeah, who's Gary? Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows me. I'm pretty sure some people do know me. My name is Gary Palma. I'm a realtor, loan officer, broker in Fresno, California. I've been in the business, wow, going on 20 years. I hate to say that, but it's been a long time. So I run a brokerage here in Fresno, California.
Right on. Okay, good deal. And my name is Seb Fry, and I'm a realtor, and I got licensed in 2003, and pretty much that whole time I've been working, sort of in and around Silicon Valley. That's Silicon Valley right behind me, and yeah, and I think that over the years that I've been in business, I've certainly seen a lot of changes, and I myself have gone through a lot of changes. I'm certainly a lot grayer, older than I used to be, but I
Same
think that
here.
yeah,
Same
well,
here.
you know
Yeah.
how it goes, man. You know how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
So, Gary, what are we doing here? What is the point of our little tete-a-tete right here?
Yeah, I think we wanted to bring some value to other fellow realtors, right? I know a lot of people right now are talking about how to get more business, right? So we kind of wanted to talk about that, how they can generate, business quickly, get some deals going and make some money, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no question. I don't think that 2023 was a hard year. I just saw, I work for Compass, and I saw Robert Refkin, who our intrepid leader. He was on Inman, New York City Connect or whatever, New York Connect, and they were interviewing him, and he was talking about how like he's seen like really experienced seasoned agents like break down and cry and talk about getting out of the business because like 2023 was such a tough year. How was it for you, Gary, in the Fresno area? Was it pretty tough this year or last year? What can you say?
Yeah, it's I guess we're all in the same boat, the whole country, So obviously the number of transactions are down 40%, and there's only so much to go around, right?
Yeah,
So, I'm me
yeah,
personally, I'm
that's
also
that's
more
tough.
yeah, me personally, I'm also a mortgage broker, and the refi business just went dead, right? So so that, obviously everybody's affected.
Yeah, I was at my association's Christmas party, and I ran into a mortgage broker there I've worked with in the past, and she said her business was down 70% in December versus a year ago. And like, I don't care how much you were making before, like in 2022, if your business is down by 70%,
Oh,
that's got to hurt.
yeah, that is a lot. Yeah, no, that definitely. I mean, I know a lot of people are affected big time, and there are also some people making more money nowadays, right?
Right. Some people are making more money nowadays. So my own production, I think, is down like 20, 25% in 2023 versus 2022. 2022 was, well, actually, that's not true, I guess. I guess my production in 2023 is better than 2022, but it was certainly not as good as 2021, right? So in my area here, Silicon Valley, I think it's only down about 45%, but not versus last year versus 2021, right? 2021 was a pretty good year, I think, for a lot of people. And then 2022 was challenging, and 2023 was really a bear. But so Gary, I go online and I spend too much time online, honestly. My screen time report on my iPhone is embarrassing, but when I'm online, and also just when I talk to realtors, I talk to realtors all the time, every day. It seems like I'm talking to realtors, no surprise. Um, I hear a lot of people saying that, yeah, 2023 is bad, and they're now in financial, hardship, essentially, right? They can't pay their bills. And so I think a big question for realtors really right now is how do you get now business? Not how do you fill up your pipe so that 6 months or 9 months or 2 years from now you have business, because that's one of the things about the real estate business that is so challenging, is that everything takes forever. But
Yeah.
how do you get now business where like I need a deal today? Gary, how would you get a deal today if you actually needed to have a deal today? What would you do if you were in desperate straits up against a wall?
Yeah, so if I need a deal today, obviously I'm digging up all my past clients, all my SOI, right? I'm banging the phone calls right now, calling everybody, anybody that I know they might be need to sell their home or buy a home, right? And another thing I would do is I would call all the expires and FISBOs, and also I'm also calling circle prospecting because people do need to sell their home, they do need to buy. So I think you got to get on the phone, stop messing around with the Facebook.
It's funny, Gary, because I was on Facebook and this guy was talking about some, realtor. I don't know who he is or where he is, but he's saying like, oh, I'm, like I really got to get a deal together. I'm gonna go and I'm going to send mailers out to a neighborhood. And for me, I'm thinking like, you are insane. Like, first of all, you just said you're broke, right? So where are you gonna get the money to send mailers to a neighborhood? You need money today. What are you doing sending out mailers, which is definitely probably going to get you nothing for one. And if you did get you anything, it's very unlikely it would get you anything today. So you said something really important there, Gary. What was the most important thing you just said that you would do to get business today?
I'd say I agree. I mean, the mailers are great. I think it's a long-term investment. It takes about, what is it, 7, 8 mailer before they even recognize you, right? So, if you need a deal today, I think getting on the phone, reaching out to people that you already know, that you sold home to in the past, maybe, 5, 6 years, they might be ready to move, right? Or they might know someone, right?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, that's it.
instead of,
Exactly. Pick up the phone. And that's
yeah,
the comment that I put on the Facebook message that I was reading, like pick up the phone and call somebody. Now, you said you would call your sphere of influence expireds. And who else did you
yeah.
say you would call?
The past clients, fear, and also I would call the neighborhood, what do you call it, circle prospecting.
Uh-huh.
So I
Okay.
would call around the neighborhood. I just pick out a listing that was recently listed, not even by me, or someone else. Just call around the listing. Hey, there's a new listing in your neighborhood. By the way, anybody looking to move into your neighborhood? By the way, when are you thinking about moving, right?
Right.
So, you know, so you start the conversation, you can do, if you use one of the dialers, you can call 300 people an hour, right? So, so
Yeah.
if you spend maybe 2 hours calling, you can probably get a lead, right?
Probably so. You could probably get more than one lead. And
Yeah.
I once heard a very wise man once say, and I don't remember who it was a while ago that I heard it. There is no problem in your life that more phone calls won't fix.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, whenever you need some help, whatever you're going through, just pick up the phone and talk to someone, right?
That's right. That's right. And so, like, and that's advice that you hear a lot all the time. And one thing that I don't ever do, I've never done it, and I'm very bad about it. I never call my sphere of influence. I never call my past clients. I do sometimes, of course, but not for the idea of like, hey, can you refer anybody to me? I'll just call them to like invite them out to like dinner or coffee or like into like a little event that I'm doing or whatever, but I don't really call them to like solicit any kind of referrals. And I've never really done it. Bad on me because I know that is really like a major source of business. Have you done that, Gary? Have you called your
Yes,
SOI and
yes,
past
I do. I
clients?
mean, not as much, just like you, but I notice every time I'm talking to someone, they're happy to talk to me.
They're happy to talk to you. So what do you say?
Yeah.
Like the ring ring, hello, and then you say, "Hey, Seb," and I say, "Oh, hey, Gary, how you doing?" And then you say, "What do you say?"
Hey, Seb, how you doing? How you been? I haven't been talking to you lately, but I just checking in. How you doing? You know, how's life? How's business? How's your family?
Well, Well, good. Well, Larry, it's good to hear from you, man. And actually, things are all right. I mean, Mimi lost her job, unfortunately, but we're optimistic she's going to find something. My business is down. I mean, like I'm a contractor, and it's winter time. You know how it is right now. Do you know anybody, by the way, who's looking for any work on their house?
You know what? I'm glad that you brought that. I'm glad that I called you. Yeah, I do have people that constantly looking for contractors or whatever. I can definitely get you some work. Yeah.
Oh, terrific. All right, right on. Very good. So everybody look at this. This is actually a very organic situation because I think that a lot of agents, really, they're like myself, for example, are reluctant to make these calls because we have it in the back of our minds that we're calling because we want to get something out of the person that we're calling, really. But I think what Gary just demonstrated here is that if you're coming from a place of contribution, it's really not what you're getting, it's what you're giving to them, right? And it's
Yeah.
actually kind of a natural thing. When you give something to somebody, what do they want to do? They want to give something back
Absolutely.
to you.
Absolutely. I mean, if they're thinking about moving and if they forgot about you, now they know you again, right? So they might know someone that need to move or buy or sell. I think having more conversation. I mean, I guess your business is about having more conversations, right?
It is
Just
definitely about having more conversations. And, so I never have really ever called any of my past clients or sphere or anything like that, ever really and done this, but I know that this would work great. I want to run this by you. Let me know what you think. So here, let's just pretend that you are a client. I'm going to call you. Ring, ring.
yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hey Gary, how you doing?
Good, Seb. How are you?
I'm pretty good. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, I know, man. Where you been?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been pretty busy, and I know that's no excuse for not staying in better touch with you. But it has been.
But
I'm just thinking, it has been a long time since we talked. I just want to check in, see how you're doing.
yeah, no, I'm glad that you called. I mean, we do follow you. I mean, we see your Facebook post and YouTube and all that stuff. We do follow you, but
Oh, good. I'm glad you're
I'm
getting my
glad that you
spam.
I'm glad that you still remember us.
Right on. Well, so how's business?
Business is doing okay. Um, just like every other business, it's kind of slow right now. I have a pressure washing business. It's kind of trucking business is kind of slow right now.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, if you know anyone, need their truck wash or something like that, maybe, maybe, maybe let them know about us.
Well, with all the rain, there's a lot of muddy vehicles out
Yeah,
there. I was noticing a
yeah,
lot of people coming back from the Tahoe and whatnot.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so just so I can get my reticular activator going, like, what does your ideal client look like? I'm sorry.
Ideal client would be maybe someone who owns a couple of trucks, or maybe multiple trucks. We can go wash them on their site.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I remember now. Yeah, you do the mobile washing. They don't have to come to
Yeah,
you. You go to them.
yeah, yeah,
Right
yeah.
on.
So
Okay. Well, terrific. I mean, I run across people like that from time to time. So I'll be sure to remember that when I see you. Do you have like a website or?
yeah, yeah, I can send you my website, text it to you, and
Yeah, text it to me.
also, I overheard one of my friends. They say they might be moving to Texas, and they might
Really?
be selling their home. Yeah,
No way. Really? When do you think
yeah.
that's going to happen?
They're talking about pretty soon. So
Oh, wow.
I'm glad that you called, and maybe I can connect you with them.
Oh, that'd be terrific. That'd be terrific. I mean, like a lot of people are weirded out right now because they say, oh, the market's kind of weird right now, but actually, it's actually a great market right now because there's
Yeah.
so little competition from sellers, really. Like maybe in 2 or 3 months and in the springtime, maybe there'll be a lot of sellers, but if they were to get their home on the market today, they might get surprised how much they're able to get for it and get it sold really quickly.
No, absolutely. I don't know if they already talked to someone or not, but it doesn't matter. I'll still connect you with them.
Oh yeah, would you mind just texting me their name and phone number too, or maybe give them a call first and let them know that I'm going to reach out to them?
Absolutely, absolutely, not a problem. Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
take it.
Well,
Yeah,
listen, Gary, that is terrific, man. Thank you so much for letting me know about that. I really do appreciate it.
yeah, Seb, stay in touch, man.
All right, cool deal. Thanks, Gary. And yeah, don't forget to text me your website and all that stuff.
You got it. I'll do that.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well, that
it
went pretty
happened
well
just
for a call.
yeah, yeah. That's how most of the calls go, you know.
Well, I think that, yeah. Well, so I don't actually make the calls, but I hear that's how they go. But I think, though, that just because it's a normal way of communicating with somebody, if you ask about their business, what are they going to do?
Yeah,
They're going
absolutely.
to ask
Yep.
about your business, right? How is your
Mm-hmm.
business? How is the real estate market, right? And then,
Yeah.
like, so if I were to ask you, like, let's say I want some now business, today business, and I'm calling you up, you're my past client or my sphere of influence, and I call you up and uh, you ask me how the business is, right? And I say it's going great. All that is good. What do you say?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously you want to be honest, right? But you don't want to bring out anything negative, right? Either, right? So
Right.
obviously business is good, you know. If it's not great, it's good, right? Just be honest,
Right.
right?
Right. Well, one thing I have, whenever people call me, they say, "Hey, Sam, are you busy? Right? Are you busy right now?" I say, "I'm always busy." I said, "I'm either busy closing deals or I'm either busy like getting new deals to happen." Right. And that is true, right?
Yeah.
I never stop. I'm either working on getting new business or I'm working on closing existing business. So like I am always busy. And that's the God's honest truth, really. I
Yeah,
am
yeah, you're
always,
right.
always busy.
Sometime I had that past client call you, Gary. You know, we're thinking about selling. Are you able to take on? Hold on. Okay, 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 got it. We're gonna have to cut this. Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about that. God, where we left off.
Oh, yeah. That when a client's asking you how busy you are, can you
Oh
take on their
yeah,
business?
yeah. So one thing I said, it's just us realtor talking. Oh, you know what? Don't say you're busy, you're not busy, but I don't think they care. You know,
Right.
they just they just want to have a conversation. Chatting. So like say, I mean, it has happened in the past where customers say, "Well, we're thinking about selling. Are you busy? Are you able to take on our listing?" So some people do ask that, but I mean, obviously they're not. You're not going to say no. They're not going to say no to you once they're already calling you, right?
Right.
So
Right.
you have to be stupid not to take that listing, right?
Right. I had my first broker, he said, always take the listing, really, and like I don't actually agree with that anymore. I think there are some listings that you really do not want to take, but it has to be pretty radioactive, I think, to not want to take the listing. Maybe I can think of a number of reasons why you wouldn't want to take it, but generally speaking, it's especially if you have no business whatsoever. I mean, if you have no business
Yeah.
at
Well, I
all,
mean, only reason I won't take a listing is if it's overpriced. If I think it's overpriced, I'm not taking it.
right? Oh,
Other
really?
than that,
You won't take it,
I won't. I won't. Yeah, if it's overpriced, if the seller's not reasonable, I'm not taking it.
right? Right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a waste of time. Overpriced listings. Yeah, it just makes you look bad, and you're gonna actually end up ruining your relationship with that customer too. So it's not gonna sell.
Right. Yeah, that's also very important as well. So you pick up the call now, Gary. How much time do you think you would need to spend calling? How many hours do you think it would take? Let's just say that our viewers don't have a dialer right now, and they're just
Yeah.
going to pick up the actual cell phone and like manually punch in numbers. How long do you think it would take somebody, do you think, to actually get an appointment with somebody to talk about buying or selling a house?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Now, with manually dialing numbers, shoot, I mean, how many can you dial in an hour? I don't know, 20,
Yeah, maybe.
right?
So, but and you're not going to talk to, I mean, if you make 20 calls, you're going to talk to how many people do you think?
Typically about 30% of the people answer.
Yeah. Okay. So six or seven.
Yeah,
Okay. So you're gonna have six or seven conversations in an hour, and most of them will be about 10 seconds long, 15 seconds long,
yeah,
right? Well, unless you're calling your sphere of influence to catch up, then that could take much
yeah,
longer. But if you're
yeah.
circle prospecting or calling expireds, a lot of them are going to be pretty short conversations normally.
Yeah, that's gonna be either yes or no, if they pick up the phone and talk to you, it could go on, for a long time, but it could be just hang up.
Right.
So
But so how long do you think? Let's just say you're doing you're calling expireds, for example. How long do you think? Well, I mean, it's the beginning of the year right now. There's a lot of people who expired like last year, and a lot of people are going through old expireds, like weeding through
Yeah.
those. Let's just say I had a list of, 300 old expireds I was going to wheedle through. Like, how long do you think it would take me calling 300 old expireds to get a listing appointment, do you think? Or not even a listing
Well,
appointment, an appointment to go over there and see them, at least see the house, just talk to them.
yeah. So 300 expired. If you have that many in your market, those are numbers a little bit better on those. But they do need to sell.
So
So,
what do you think?
oh God, out of 100, you should be getting at least five appointments.
Out of 100, you think you'd get
Yeah,
5% of them, right? So,
yeah, yeah,
okay, so if you can talk to six an hour,
yeah,
and so in order to call, so that means every 20, that basically means that if 3 to 4 hours is what you're saying, 3 to 4 hours on the phone, roughly, you would expect
yeah,
that you'd be able to set an appointment.
yeah. But I mean, if you're broke, you got nothing. Why wouldn't you just not call all day long?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just not call all day long, right? And so, like, if you were to spend 8 hours calling, you could
Yeah,
probably, like, if you
yeah,
started at 9 and ended at 5, or started at
yeah,
8 and ended up 6 with like some break time in the middle,
yeah,
you would assume you would be able to set, a couple of appointments, right?
yeah. I mean, how about you're not leaving the office until you get one appointment at least?
You're not leaving the office until you get one appointment at least. That's
Yeah,
right. Exactly. Yeah. So that kind of mirrors my own calling. So like I don't call expireds, although I there's very few expireds really. So when I said 300, that wasn't who expired on January 1st. That's people who expired all last year and did not
yeah,
relist and still have not sold their homes. And it's probably a very small number like that in Silicon Valley, and like most homes do sell except for the people who just want way too much money, right? In which case, no point working with those people anyway, because they're not gonna sell, right? But
yeah,
real opportunities, there might only be a few hundred really in Silicon Valley, that didn't sell last year. But nevertheless, those are real people. So if I were to go through 300 of them, I might be able to come up with. So if I, so if I reached out, if I talked to 12 a day, right? Okay, is that two a day, right? So that might only take me because a lot of them are not going to answer, right? How
no,
about
that's true.
texting? Do you call and text, or what would you recommend about calling and texting?
Yeah, you got to text. I mean, nowadays you can get their phone number, email, everything, email, text, call, everything.
No, but so when you call them, you're calling them. If they don't answer, it goes to voicemail. Do you text them? What do you do?
Well, if I'm using a dialer, it's automated. The text goes out, email goes out, voicemail goes out, automatic.
Oh, really? Dialers
Yeah,
automatically text, email, and call?
yeah,
What dialer is
yeah.
that does that?
Uh, Vulcan does that. Mojo
Vulcan
does that.
automatically
Yeah,
sends out a text message
yeah,
if you don't connect.
yeah. So with our own CRM, we have connected with our own CRM that we use internal.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting because I use that follow-up boss, and follow-up boss does not do that. So I use the follow-up boss dialer, and
yeah,
I'm going through that. And like I doesn't like I leave a voicemail message because I believe
yeah.
you should leave a voicemail message. Do you believe you should leave a voicemail message or not?
Yeah, you only get one chance with them. You leave a good message, and they'll call you back.
Right. So with Follow Up Boss, I use a dialer, I leave a voicemail message, and then I hit, like here's all my templates. I have to like manually send them not manually, but I pick a template out of the list and say, because like I'm calling different kinds of people for different lead sources, different
Yeah.
reasons to call. So I'll pick some, but it's not automatic. But you're saying that your dialer automatically sends
Mm-hmm.
them because it sure would be nice because I might spend, 15 seconds, 20 seconds a call like
Yeah.
picking the text message and like sending it out. But yours is on
Yeah.
emails too automatically as well, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Email, voicemail, text message,
That's
everything.
Vulcan 7, huh? That Vulcan
Yeah.
7 you're using, huh? Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
cool. I did not realize that. I'm glad that we're talking about this, Gary.
No, we do actually have our internal CRM, attached to it. It does some of the things.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think I have to show you that. We haven't talked about that. So
Right. Okay. So always leave a voicemail message and always text them afterwards. And what I find is that people rarely call me back, but they will quite often text me back.
people
That's very
do
common.
people do text. Yeah, that's you'd be surprised how many people don't want to talk. They'll text you back.
Right. Well, I don't
Even
want to talk. I mean, like, who wants to talk,
yeah,
right? I mean, like,
even email people. You if you got the right email, the accuracy of these emails is not 100%. You know, when you get from these companies, but I mean, if you get the right email, you can connect with them in the email too.
Right. Yeah. And I've always been a big emailer, and we could talk about email because email has always been my jam. And so I know a lot about emailing people, that's for sure.
It's easy,
So,
yeah.
well, Gary, I think that what's that?
No, no, see, emails are easy. You know, it's easier than phone calls. So
Right. Well, it's
anybody
also easier to
anybody should
ignore
be
an
able.
email.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the thing with email. But
Yeah. You
you
can
want to get
spam
people
it.
from multiple media, really. You want them to see you on Facebook, on email, in your
Yeah,
voicemail, in your text messages, right?
yeah,
On your
yeah,
YouTube feed, right? I mean, like that's
yeah,
the idea. That's how you build a
yeah,
brand, really, is that they
yeah,
see you everywhere. And then you're top of mind, which is super important because here's the funny thing that a lot of realtors don't understand, I don't think, is like when I like am out shopping for like flooring, right? Or like a major appliance or something like that. I'm like doing research, right? So I might like fill in some forms online or like, whatever to get more information on a product. And then they're calling me back and I'm like, well, I'm really not ready to buy right now, really. Like I'm not buying today. I'm probably buying soon, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm just doing my research, right? And so like it's when I make these inquiries and people call me back, I blow them off, right? And it's the same thing. I'm thinking like same thing as a person wanting to buy or sell a house, right? You express an interest in buying or selling a house. It's a process that usually takes months or possibly years, right? Before you actually transact, right? So you're just doing your investigation. And so when people ghost you and they don't reply, it's like I do the same thing. I ghost, salespeople all the time, right? And it's not
yeah,
because I don't
yeah,
like them. It's not because I'm not interested in them. It's not because I don't like their product. It's just
yeah.
because I'm not ready to transact at that time. But you know who actually gets the business a lot of time is the ones who keep on reaching out to me. And so that when I am in fact ready to buy, I remember, oh, these guys, they had a thing going on that sounded pretty good.
You
Search
know
for
what?
that email, find
Also,
that.
also, also, I noticed it's just the timing. You could be calling them for 2 years, and all of a sudden, one day they're ready to list, and someone else calls.
Right. That's right. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen.
It's just, it's just sometimes it's just luck, with these leads. But you do have to, you do got to stay in touch with them. So
Right.
obviously,
Totally.
you can automate a lot of that stuff, with the
Totally, totally.
CRM.
Well, that
Yeah,
is a conversation for another day. I think the whole automation, because I think we're about out of time for this session that we've had here today. So, Gary, thank you so much. I think that we've covered some rich ground here.
yeah, yeah, we did. Yeah, yeah. I think we covered a lot, but I mean, there's a lot more to do. So we'll be talking
Oh, I
more
could
in the coming episodes. Yeah,
I could talk about this forever. I could talk about
yeah,
this for
I know.
years.
Yeah,
I don't think I've
yeah,
ever run out of stuff to say because I find it all very, very interesting. In fact, for me at this point in my career, it's like this actual problem really because like I've sold so many houses, right? Like I don't worry about like selling houses really, like it's not that often when something new comes up in terms of actually selling a house, right? Like I've just been through so many situations, but like for me, the great mystery, it's not really mystery either, but it's like the great puzzle is like, you know, client acquisition, getting people to say yes, really, that to me, I think is a challenge that most realtors have, is getting people to say yes. And that is what, we're going to be talking about in many more future episodes. So
yeah.
give me any final words before we sign off here.
Well, I would say it's pick up the phone and start dialing.
Pick up the phone and start dialing. Let's make a note of that to myself. Yeah, pick up the phone and start dialing because there's no problem in your life that making more calls won't solve. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gary, man. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. All right.